Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim 25, and welcome back to our Take Over the Map challenge here on Survival 4X. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight I have made a grave mistake. A mistake the likes of which I've probably made in the past, but not nearly to the extent that we just did. Um, it's currently July. I went forward in time a couple of months because I wanted to get to the next season of work. Know what I forgot? Know what I forgot, guys? I forgot that we had a crap ton of soybeans to sell. And soybeans sell at their highest in June. I have made a grievous error. This error is going to cost us about $40,000. I know, it's crazy. So I have a decision to make. Do I accept the loss of $40,000 so that we get money in the bank so that we can potentially make some purchases today? Or do I hold on to the soybeans until next year? Now, a proper farmer wouldn't be making this mistake right now. But given the fact that I really would like the money, I'm going to accept the fact that I made a huge mistake. While everybody's working, we got our harvesting of our wheat fields going on right now. Somewhere, there he is. There he is. Out there harvesting the small wheat field. We got the harvesting of our grass fields again. And so that's going on. And while that's going on, I want to buy another truck. I'm done having one truck go back and forth between multiple jobs. You saw how tough it was for me to get this truck hooked back up to this trailer. So it's going to be stuck to that trailer from now on. And then we're going to have a separate trailer truck that's going to do our grain hauling and our truck, our low boy and stuff like that. So we're going to buy us a second truck. Now, I want to go ahead and get a second of the TLX Phoenix because that is the one that's capable of climbing over the hills and everything. So we're going to get the same thing. But we just got to find it again. And I don't remember where it's at. As TLX Phoenix something or another. Ah, there it is. This is the TLX Phoenix Semi. I think it's this one, right? I don't think there's any other one. So we want to go with the all-in. Nope, not quite that all-in. Standard is fine. We want to go for the big engine. Holy mother of God, 1,582 horsepower. Is this the engine that we got? I don't remember if we got this much horsepower. It doesn't matter because we need to get some off-road tires. We're going for the BKTs. There we go. That gets us that beautiful off-road tires. It's going to get us up and down the hills no problem, even in the snow. We are keeping the agricultural tires on there. Chicken lights, obviously, we've got the... where am I? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. But headlights-wise, I think we go with those ones right there. Bumpers, I like the like angled bumper, I believe. Yeah, that one right there. It's got all the lights and it's angled. That's my favorite there. Air filters, I believe that's fine. But I do prefer a dual exhaust. So there we go. Get that going. Perfect. And as far as the exhaust go, I do like the angled cut. But I kind of like it, yeah, 45-degree angles. There we go. I don't know, that looks awful big. There we go. That looks a little bit more normal. Get some angle 45s. The visor, I don't need to change that. The mirrors can stay. I don't need to change those. I don't need a sleeper because we're not hauling over the road. We're just going into town. We will put the extra antennas on because, no, we won't. I lied. It looks terrible. Standard. Let's go with black. I like a black interior. Engine sounds. I wish there was a way to hear the different engines. Like, I don't know which sound is best. Rear bumper, though, I don't remember if we changed this or not. We do have the option for a rear PTO. I'm not worried about that. I do like this, though, I ain't gonna lie. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I think we go with the design, too. As for the color, I think we do go with a white truck. We never go with a white truck. But I think a white truck can look pretty good. Of course, white would like, hint to the milk side of things, wouldn't it? Maybe we change the color. Instead of white, we go with maybe an orange. What does this look like? Oh, wait, we got an orange utility truck. We don't want that. Maybe yellow. Let's go to Phoenix orange. No, that's awful. School bus. Okay, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. We'll go with that. We'll go with the school bus. As far as everything else goes, I ain't too worried. Vinyl colors, we don't have any vinyl on there. You see the engine in there, barely. And the rim colors are currently chrome. I do wish we could change the wheel. I do like the agricultural, like, oh, this just gives us the full. Do we want the big super wides or do we want the duals? Let's go with the super wides for this one. Why not? Let's go chonky. All right, let's go with it. All right, it's $128,000 we're going to pay straight up. Let's get that. No problem. We now own a bright yellow mustard truck. I mean, school bus. Let's go grab a hold of this thing. Oh, yeah. All right. All right, let's get this thing home. We'll hook it up to the grain trailer. Then we got to fill her up with some soybeans and get her back. Oh, my God. I forgot. I slowed down the steering quite a bit because I use a controller. And so most of the time it doesn't mean any, or it doesn't make a difference having slow steering, but it does in a truck. Good Lord, that Jake brake sounds nasty. I forgot how good the Jake sounds in this thing. I usually turn it off. Just because every time you let off the gas, I would much rather have a button that allows me to use the Jake brake than to just constantly hear the Jake brake. It's like it makes sense coming down here, right? But it doesn't make sense when you're on flat ground and there ain't a whole lot going on. We're not even hauling anything. All right. So we are going to get this thing hooked up to the grain trailer, which is still waiting for us right here. Perfect. All right. Before we take this trailer anywhere, it has failed my pre-trip inspection, so let's get it over here and get it worked on a little bit. Make sure that this grain trailer is up to scratch. Don't want to fail an inspection from DOT on the way over, especially under load. That'd get us into a lot of trouble. So we are going to go ahead and spend a little bit of money to you know, change brakes and so forth. There we go. Trailer has been repaired. Beautiful. I feel like the angled stacks are not quite stacking. The particle effects are not coming out of the stacks correctly. Might have to change that. It's going to irritate me. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and fill this thing up with soybeans. We have 285,000 liters, so we are going to have one full truck and then a partial of soybeans. So that'll be fun. What I'm not looking forward to is after this this season, when we get the fields all harvested, we have to lime pretty much all of our fields. So the amount of money that we're going to need to do that, but also the amount of trips of lime is going to be absurd. So I may end up putting down a temporary silo down towards the corn and soybean fields again, just so that I don't have to keep running back and forth here to get lime and go back. You know what I mean? If there was an option for AI to buy lime, I'd be all over that. If you give me the option to let my AI buy lime, I'll do that all day. I mean, I know there's an option you could just not have lime. You could just turn lime off. But I do like lime. I just don't like putting lime down because you go through so much of it. Well, look at our brand new truck, man. I think it looks good. I think it looks real good. And the black and yellow goes together on the trailer as well. Not bad. All right, first load of soybeans is getting into the truck. We're going to get this over there and deliver it. Shouldn't have any trouble pulling this up the hill. We got plenty of horsepower, that's for sure. And it's good transmission as well. We are going to turn down the speed limiter, though. We'll set it to 70. That's realistic. You wouldn't be doing 90 miles an hour in this thing. I mean, you could. You would just get in a lot of trouble for it if you got caught. We ain't got Bandit out here to screen for us. You see, this thing does struggle a little bit going up the hills. And by struggle, I mean it slows down. It doesn't struggle at all. Compared to our previous things. Yeah, we may have to go with the straight stacks on this thing. The particles popping out the top of it is driving me bonkers. I ain't gonna lie. Driving me bonkers. But yeah, so I'm thinking right over there in that corner is where we're gonna have the lake. But it's gonna take a while to get to that point. So just keep an eye on that side of the field over there. Eventually we're going to be starting to build a lake. And yes, it will have a campground, and I'd like to come up with a way to make like a beach area and stuff like that. I think it'd be cool. All right, first load going in. Should make a decent chunk of money. Like I said, we are going to lose about $40,000 selling our soybeans today compared to what we would have had if we didn't sell them today. If we sold them last month. But sometimes you make mistakes. You just got to own up to them. This mistake cost us $40,000. It's a big oopsie. But we'll go ahead and save real quick, and then we'll check on our other workers, make sure they're still doing their thing. I didn't see any pop-ups saying that they were done yet, but, you know, want to double check. All right, so he's still harvesting, and where on earth is our... Am I crazy, or is our forage harvester somewhere missing? We're going to have to check on the forage harvester. I don't know where it's at. We are going to switch to the back and unload that as well. But we just made $117,000, right? About $117,000 on the front tank alone. That is absolutely bonkers. Now, that's the good news is we may be losing $40,000 total, but we're going to make up for that with the environmental bonuses that we get, or at least close to it anyway. But still, we still lose $40,000. We would have had $40,000 more, is what I should say. All right. The other thing I wanted to check on is farmland. So if we go to farmland, now I do want to think about, okay, so yeah, we own most of this. So if we grab this one and, I mean, if we start to get over into here, we can start to get those real big fields, right? But we'd need at least... I'm going to have to go look at this section here. Maybe we buy one chunk of land. All right, there we go. Another $117,000. We'll get this back over to the farm. Also need to start working on like the turnaround area here. All that stuff. But let's get this back over to the farm and then we'll check in and see what the heck is going on with our forage harvester that's not showing up on the map. Because I know the forage harvester was working. And I know the regular harvester was working. Nothing like scraping trees with your eyeballs. Alright. Looks like it's done up there in the corner, which is good. I was beginning to worry, because I didn't see it on the map at all. Alright. Another 108,000 liters. That's another decent chunk. There we go. Let's go ahead and fold these up. Now, as stated previously, this field goes into the farthest silo from us that goes into producing food for our soon-to-be cattle. So we'll do that. And then, obviously, the other field goes in for selling. I will say this. I love the chickens, but the chickens don't seem to be doing their jobs very well. They are not producing a lot of eggs at all. We'll throw that in there. And then honestly, we should be able to go through here, because I'm sure this guy's got the field. I was going to say, I'm sure this guy's got the field done by now. We'll just drive across this real quick. Head over to our grass field, get this guy started on that. Then we'll get the workers started on harvesting the big wheat field. Right. So now that we're here, should be able to go ahead and get him set up. I'll double check that he's actually going to get some grass in the hopper. Here lately I've been having issues where this thing starts and then it just stops collecting grass. So I want to make sure that we got plenty of grass. Sometimes it bugs out. Just like that. You see what I'm saying? And this is what happens. So I just detach, retach, and then let it go again. And now watch, it'll work. This has been happening like every single time that I cut grass. See? Now it's fine. Every single time I cut grass. It works fine for the first field. Come over to the second field, it starts to mess up, and then I have to catch it. So, anyway, that's done. So now let's go over to our harvester. And we'll get this heading over to the far field. I say far field like it's a long ways away. It's just right across the yard. It's a good thing about the wheat harvest is you don't have to go very far. We'll get this thing started on the wheat harvest over here as well. Alright. I'm going to set this for AI worker. Beautiful. Off you go. And then I will get out of your way so that you can do your job. We're going to run over here and jump in our semi. Alright. Alright, let's go forward. let's grab the last little bit of soybeans that are left. Should still end up being a decent amount of soybeans here. Decent paycheck. Alright, let's get these into town and sell them off. You can see just how much... What does it say? Is he actually moving? Okay. You can see just how much work we're getting nowadays. Like, the amount of work has gotten to a point where it's kind of crazy. Like, I can't show you guys everything all the time, or we'd have a 3-hour video every day. Now, some of you guys seem to be okay with that. Some of you are like, yeah, show us everything. I want to see 6-hour-long videos. Let's go. But, yeah, I got to do multiple things at the same time to try to keep the video length reasonable. And not just video length, but also my time also reasonable. But you guys will have to let me know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer these angled pipes like this? Or would you rather me go back to the straight, maybe angle cut pipes? That way that the smoke effect actually comes out of the pipe rather than coming through the side awkwardly. Now, the one thing I will say about building a big lake is, normally you would have to create a custom water plane in order to, like, make the lake properly. However, we don't really have that. Well, I mean, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I've done it in testing where I've created my own, like, water plane, but I've never actually imported it into Farming Simulator, you know? So I'm not confident in my abilities to do that. So what I'll probably end up doing is just using the mod that has like different water planes and stuff already in it, and using that for the water, but it'll take multiples of them, so it might cause some awkwardness. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I can do it okay. But let's go ahead and tip it to the front. There we go. That was another $24,000, $25,000. Not bad. And then this should be another absolute chonker of an unload. But we have over $500,000 in the bank again, man. We're gonna end up with over $600,000 by the time we're fully unloaded. So despite us goofing up and ended up with a situation where we, yeah, speaking is hard. Lost $40,000 on selling, we still made a boatload of cash. So I'm okay with it. I just try to remember next time to sell in June, not July. That being said, we're getting close to being finished. We're over $600,000 in the bank. All right. Beautiful. Another $117,000. Man, that makes a big difference. Makes a huge difference. All right. But we'll get this back over to the farm. I'm actually not going to use this to put the grain into our elevators or our silo complex, just due to the fact that, like, I know that I can get the combine to dump into it, and it's much faster than offloading into this than offloading this into the silos. Y'all can yell at me if you want down in the comments below, and then let me know if you prefer me to use this. I can do that. I'm just saving myself a little bit of time. But that is our soybean sell-off. Love that. Get this thing parked up. Leaving a little bit of room at the back for our harvester to be able to reach. Shut this down for the time being. I do like that yellow, I'm not going to lie. There's something about a bright yellow truck. Especially like one that looks like an old Peterbilt with the old like rivets sticking out and stuff. Love that. Alright. But, as far as everything else goes, we'll go ahead and save because the game always wants me to save. I know that I can increase the duration between autosaves, but the moment I do that, I'm going to crash and lose a bunch of progress, and I'm going to be mad at myself. But basically what we want to look at is we want to look at our precision farming stats. I want to look at the... Okay, we are going to have to buy the soil information. That's going to cost us an arm and a leg. Lord have mercy. I hate buying the soil information, but I hate drilling even more than that. Oh my gosh. Why are... Oh, that's the... okay, that's the nitrogen levels. I was like, why is our harvest yield this bad? I'm looking at nitrogen, dum-dum. All right. Anyway, so I believe next month, if we go up here, I believe next month is when we harvest our onions. Yep, August, September. And then, of course, October, we harvest our sunflowers, soybeans, and corn. So we'll have to keep an eye on all of that. Man, we got so much work to do. So much work. But we do actually have... I just thought of this. We have a flour mill now. So I lied. We are absolutely going to be putting some of our flour or some of our wheat in here. So we're actually going to put a truckload of this straight over to our flour mill as soon as we finish harvesting. So we'll actually leave this out here. I forgot about that. We actually have a grain mill, so we want to keep that going. What else was there? Oh, yeah, farmland. So one of the things that I was looking at is I wanted to travel over to this area and just see what it looks like. I mean, other than the fact that it looks like a lot of brush, it actually doesn't look too bad. I don't see a lot of trees over here, and you can see the edge of the map is right here. So this is one gigantumum field. Holy! There's not even a lot of trees here. Oh, this field is going to be gargantuan. This field's going to be absurd. Okay, this is a county road, though. So that's going to stop this field from being even more ridiculous. How big is this field, though? I don't know, but it looks massive. All right, well, that's going to be our next field, I think, for sure. For sure. I don't know what we're going to grow on it yet, but that's definitely going to be our next field. So I think we buy that piece of property. And then we save some money because we want to do our cattle as well, or our cattle place as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to look at the farmland. We're going to grab this. $255,000. Done. That leaves us $354,000 in the bank. Not currently, like, I could put the thing down now, probably, if I had to guess. But we don't currently have quite enough money for it. Remember, this is the one that we're going for right here. $325,000 does technically allow us to buy it, but I say allow us to buy it, but it doesn't currently let us buy it. Probably because it needs to do a significant amount of leveling. But I will also be customizing our pasture, so yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. But I'm hoping that we can put this something like this right on top of that hill and then be able to have the fence line come down here into just above the fields so that we can see, you know. I think that would be really cool. Anyway, now that we've got that figured out, we know that this is our next big property. I mean, that's going to take so long. Like, trying to mow this is going to take forever. Let alone cutting in the field and everything. This is going to be our first... This is going to be one of those fields where I cheat. I ain't going to lie. We'll set in the boundary of the field after we mow everything. We'll set in the boundary of this field, and then we are 100% cheating. I can guarantee you that. I will be using the 50-meter working width to fill in the gaps on this one. Because that is going to be absurd. I don't know how big of a field that's going to be, but it's going to be a doozy. Anyway, I've been jibber-jabbering long enough. While they're doing that, I really don't have anything else to do at the moment, so I might as well go over here, jump in the tractor, and I want to test something. I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe I still have the 50 meter working with mower as well. Right here. I believe this is the unrealistic mower. Nope, that's a tree be gone. There's a mower over here. Ah, I think that's... Actually, I think that's the disc. Yeah, that's the plow. Okay. Well, shoot. I thought I had the unrealistic mower. I bet I sold it because I don't think it actually gets rid of the thing. I don't think it actually gets rid of... yeah. I don't think it gets rid of the brush. That's what I was going for. Which is the whole reason we're doing this in the first place. Alright, we're going to need to fill this thing up with fuel. We already repaired it. But we're about to take this thing all the way to the border of the map. Oh, that reminds me. We need to set up our road that goes across the middle. Or up across the top of the map. Something else we need to do. We've got time. I'm not too worried about it. But this is why I love being able to have multiple pieces of equipment. Boy, that field got ravaged this year from moisture. Or lack thereof. Just a mess. Wheat must be really susceptible to moisture levels. Alright, so this area right here, we're actually going to shut this off for the time being. We're going to go into construction. We're going to do a little bit of painting. We are going to be putting in our road that goes across the top. So let's go down here. Let's go to painting. And we know that we use the mud light. Why is it not? Okay, this lets me do it, but the controller won't for some reason. Alright, so we want to basically come right over here. If we can make that one slot bigger, we will bring this right up here. And then I've got to try to bring it along the top of the field if we can. I feel like this is way too big. Maybe we drop it down a size. Yeah, that's better. Problem with working right up against the border of the map is you really can't see what you're doing. But I think this will probably be our best bet. So we're going to bring this straight over from there. Beautiful. Perfect. All right, so that takes care of that section. Now this next section, we do have a little bit of trees and stuff potentially in the way. I don't mind having that grass go like in there. Kind of reminds me of like if you drive with the wheels on either side of it. The next section, we want to kind of go straight through. May have to get rid of a couple trees here and there. Alright, we'll just drag this way. And we're not actually putting grass in it, or gravel in up here, so I'm not worried about paying for this. This would be just essentially like just driving across the top of your property enough to where you got a road. Maybe you bring in a cultivator to kind of pack it down or whatever. Alright, so we are going to aim for that gap in the trees. I would love to be able to do this without having to get rid of a bunch of trees. If we can. There we go. Just kind of blend that in a little bit. Looks like we can kind of slip through there. We may have to get rid of a couple of trees here. But we do have the road right there that we can link up to. So we're just going to bring this out. Can't tell, but it should be linked. There we go. And then we want to bring this straight over to here. Is there a way to... Oh, there we go. I almost see what I'm doing. Alright, we're going to bring this straight... That is anything but straight, but should be good enough. Should be good enough. Alright. And then we'll make it a little bit wider. Kind of gets rid of those extra bushes. All right, and that kind of links our property all the way across the top, right? We've got this that comes all the way over to this field. Obviously, we don't have a way to link it to there, but all of our fields are pretty much linked all the way across the top. So any time that we need to get anywhere, we shouldn't have to drive on a field to get there. And then, like I said, this road here is going to be where we put our cow pasture on the inside. And then, yeah, now we've got this gigantic field that we're going to be working on. So let's drive the new road. See what it looks like. Like I said, there may or may not be some trees that need to get dealt with. Actually, you know what I'm thinking? While we're in the mower, it would just make sense to go ahead and mow alongside this, or mow the actual path. Alright, let's go roughly here. Set her down and go. And now this should automatically get rid of any of the bushes that are close to the road. We'll get that one though. Let's see, it's just enough. Like I want to kind of get this area here just so that it matches the rest of it. Since it's along the side of a field. Then we'll back up and we'll get this area normal. Now this is a tree. I might just use the old chainsaw. There we go. Get rid of that. And then this, I'm not too worried. I just want to get the brush away from the trail. Also make this look a little bit nicer when we're driving through. This will be interesting for sure. Should be able to sneak through here. Ish. Because I think that's a tree. What the fuck was that? Sorry for my language. Something disagreed with my mowing technique. Oh, good. Okay, we're good. Now we can set them back down. Beautiful. If nothing else, this will make this trail look a little bit more of a trail. The old county needs to take note of this. I feel like I do a better job. Oh, by the way, our sunflowers are flowering. Look at that. Starting to turn yellow over there. Dude, this field is gonna be insane. Thought that was a tree. I was about to be real sad. Okay, and this is the crossroad. Boop. Now I know the Colossus mod has a mower that has a 50-meter working width, but it doesn't seem to work on getting rid of the brush. Even with the real mower mod installed, it doesn't seem to work. So I'm not sure how I can do any better than this, unfortunately. I would love to make this process a little bit faster, for sure. Going to try to give us a little bit of room between the border. Boy, this is some really thick brush over here. But yeah, you guys will have to let me know what should we plant on this field. It's going to be one of our biggest fields. Man, this really does give you a sense of scale of this field. Because you just keep driving and never find the end of it. Alright, here's the end of it. All right. We'll shut her down for the time being. Save. And then we'll look at it from above and kind of gauge what the field's going to look like. Now, that wasn't a very good first pass. I'll be honest. I could have gotten a little bit closer to the edges in some places. So we might end up changing that. But, I mean, just look at the size of that field. I can't even fit it all on the construction screen. It's going to be crazy. And then obviously we got to pick up all the grass from the top road as well, which we can do that on the way through when we come up to this field to pick up the grass. But yeah, we got our work cut out for us for sure. Actually, I don't even mind. I feel like we're close enough to the edge. I don't want to have situations where we're running into the border all the time. And with two edges of our field being up against the border, having a little bit of a gap isn't going to hurt anything. But that is a big field, man. That's easily got to be our biggest field yet. But we'll deal with this in another episode. For now, we need to go check on our wheat harvest and see how it's doing. All right, it's not looking too bad. We probably will take over from here, though. Hit this corner. Alright, let's set this up for us to work. Turn this sucker around. Try to get it online. Set that down. Let's go. is our harvest done. It looks like in total we ended up with 521,227 liters. That is a lot of wheat. Go ahead and drop that. We'll hook it up to the back. Take this back over to the farm, put it away, and then we will offload the first load of grain or wheat into our semi, and then the rest can go into the silos for the time being. I know this was kind of a busy episode, all over the place, a little bit of everything, but again, it just goes to show how much work needs to be done to keep this series moving forward. So hopefully you guys don't mind too much. I know it can be a bit sporadic feeling, maybe. Oh, by the way, we did end up with more hogs. I was hoping to see little piglets running around, but there are apparently no little piglets. They are just automatically hogs. I don't know why, but it's just the way the game works, I guess. Alright, shut her down right there. And then we'll go put this into the truck for the time being. I can't reach it. Unfortunate. Alright, we'll just come along this way, I guess. Very carefully. Beautiful. Alright, now we gotta try to finagle this thing up in here to drop it into the silo complex. Which I think we found a way that we can do that just by just pulling up in here like this. And then when we open it, it seems to glitch a little bit. And it just goes right into place. Goes right through the wall. Does not care about the wall at all. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Fold her up. We will have to fuel this thing up, so we'll go ahead and do that before our next harvest. Alright, how's the... okay, currently at 8% damage, so not too bad there. Just shut her down and let her do her thing. And then we are going to save and jump in the truck. Bring the truckload of wheat over to the flour mill for the first time. Let's go into our production. If we go to our grain mill, we should have some wheat flour. There we go. Let's turn that on. And yeah, now all we got to do is drop off the wheat. All right, let's jump in the truck. Now, I have no idea how much that wheat tray or that flour mill can hold. I didn't look. It probably tells me, doesn't it? Yeah, it can hold 126,000 liters. So we're actually 50,000 liters over capacity of that grain mill currently. We'll deal with that when we get there. Remember, we do have the mod installed for upgrading our factories as well. But I want to look at a couple of things before we do anything brash. We'll look at the year-round price of flour, because I've never actually done flour before. And see whether or not it's worth selling it all all year round, so I don't have to deal with it. Or if I need to put in a silo, that silo mod that allows us to auto load stuff. But this will be our first delivery to one of our brand new productions that we put in. First delivery to the industrial district. Look at that. I love this. I ain't gonna lie. This is just the beginning, y'all. Alright, so now the real fun part. Can I actually turn this semi in here? That'll be an interesting bit. Huh. Somebody didn't do a very good job of designing the interests. I'll be real honest, somebody didn't do a very good job of designing the entrance. Yeah, let's come in from the other side. That's what's wrong. It isn't my design for the entrance that's the problem. Definitely that I came in from the wrong side. I just needed to enter from this side. That's all. See? Definitely. Then we come through here. Mailbox. You're done. you're done, mailbox. I put you too far out trying to help the post office. You're done. All right. Get back in here. Man, whoever designed this needs their butt kicked. Should have given myself a little bit more room on this thing. Alright, let's drop that in there. Again, I love this trailer. I just wish it, A, either unloaded faster or allowed us to unload both tanks at the same time. And they just finished their task, which means that is the mowing done, which is perfect timing. Alright, while this is unloading though, we can kind of look in here and see what we're looking at. So right now this thing is going to produce 2,520 cycles per month, which is going to take 5 wheat and turn it into 4 flour. So if we take 4 flour and multiply, I don't have my cell phone on me. Give me a second. Alright, let me pull up my calculator. So if we take 4 times 2250, or sorry, 2520. Good Lord. That's going to produce 10,080 flour per month, which is going to be over 10 pallets. So about 10 pallets a month is what it's going to produce. And it's going to take 5 wheat. So it'll take 12,600 liters of wheat to make 10 pallets of flour per month. That's a lot of flour. Like having 10 pallets of flour a month produced is going to be kind of crazy. So instead of if we were to upgrade this, it's going to cost, yeah, you just double the price. So it's 316,000. Yeah, that's a bit much. It's a bit much. All right, let's get the other tank unloading while we're thinking about this. All right, so if we go to the price of flour. All right, so it does drop considerably, which is not ideal. So we are actually going to want to put in a silo over here that allows us. So let's go ahead and do that while we're thinking about it. We go in here to silos. We should be able to get our auto-loading silo in here somewhere. There it is. Pallet silo. Alright, so if we grab this, now I don't know where the first pallet spawns in, that's the downside. I want to say it's probably close to the plant, right? Usually they spawn them over here. So we'll put this right here for the time being and hope that I got it right. So as this thing spawns in pallets, hopefully this is the very first spot for a pallet to spawn in. It should go into our silo, and then we can then pick up all of our stuff later on. And we are officially filled to the capacity of this grain mill. I really need to make this area a little bigger. I mean, it's just big enough. And that's it. Not an ounce of extra. But it does work. We'll have to relocate the mailbox. We can do that right now. Just so that we don't forget about it. There's so many decorations in here, but the mailboxes are usually towards the bottom. Alright, let's grab that, and then we will customize, change the color to black. Rotate it around, and then we'll put this right there. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let's get this thing back over to the farm. We've officially got our grain mill up and running. A couple of more months, we'll have our sunflowers to harvest, so we'll be able to get the oil mill up and running. But for now, we'll get this back over to the farm, get it put away. Then we will go grab our forage harvester, drop any of the grass that needs to be dropped off at the goats, and then everything else will go into the silo to make silage. I don't know what's going on with the trailer, but okay. Calm down a little bit there, trailer. I also got to go pick up all the straw. I didn't think about that. Oh, dear. Boy, this truck gets a little bit wonky. See how it, like, hits that, like, it's not interacting with the fender. It's, like, interacting with that little box on the side of it or something. I don't know. Like, where the air hoses and stuff hook up. But that's that. Let's go jump in our... Man, it's always saving. I might have to turn up the autosave frequency, or turn it down. Because it's a bit excessive. Alright, so we want forage harvester. And fold up the header. We're at the top, so we might as well take the road down. We got over 3 million liters of grass once again. Just goes to show, man, this is fantastic when you take care of it. Love to see it. But we can expect that number to drop a little bit over the next couple of years as we don't lime it. I only lime every couple of years, so we do have a little bit of a drop in yield, but it's one of those things. Right. Good news is, though, we should be able to get this back to the goats, get them, make sure they're topped up. They shouldn't need too much of this, but I like keeping them with grass. That way their meadow can be fully grown for the wintertime when we don't have grass to feed them. Cut her right on down through here. I do like how we've got like roads everywhere now. Like pretty much everywhere we need to drive, we have a road to get there. So we're not just like driving across fields all the time, even though I still do. But we have the option. All right. Go ahead and back this up. Beautiful. I actually needed quite a bit there. All right, now this should go to the front one. All right. Go ahead and cover that. Get this dropped off. And then I'll collect the straw off screen. You guys don't need to see that. Ain't much to it other than just driving around. Set that there. Let's go ahead and make sure that we repair everything. We use this thing a lot, so it's got a lot of hours on it. Constantly needs repaired. And we'll put it away. Beautiful. All right, let's get our harvester. We'll back it up in here too. The harvester's good. We may want to check on the headers before the next harvest. Make sure that the headers are clear. Make sure all the teeth and stuff on them are good and aren't no leaks. And set that right there for the time being. All right, and with that, the only thing that I will show you guys that I don't think I showed you before is how our fermenting silos work. So the smaller of the two silos we are using solely for turning our grass that we get off of the smaller field into hay. So we turn it into hay, and we turn it into TMR. And I believe it's this one that takes hay and silage, so it does. And then the other thing is grass silage. So this, over the next month, will take all of the grass that we just put in it, turn it into silage, hay, and TMR. Now, we already have quite a bit of TMR in here, but I want to make sure that we have a good surplus. That way we don't run out quickly, because cows eat a lot. But for now, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching another episode. I hope you guys are still enjoying. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.